In today's story, the substitute teacher, they forgot to clear their search history, and it got pretty bad. It actually got extremely awkward. Anyways, enjoy the story. Anyways, right, so the subscriber who sent this in, let's just call him PJ, right? You know, I know a lot of really good PJs, so this guy's a good kid, too. I can just tell from his, like, profile pic. He's a good kid. Anyways, right, so PJ, we'll call him PJ, he sent me the story of when, you know, he was in history class, right? You know, and, you know, it was just a normal day in history class, or so he thought, right? He gets to history class, gets there a couple minutes early, you know, he sits next to his friend, he's just having a pretty good time. I mean, not really, he's about to go to history class. I mean, how exciting can that be? Unless it's, I don't know, history of Bitcoin mining or something. I don't know, man. Anyways, right, so he's sitting in history class, and he's waiting for the teacher, and the teacher normally is there, like, before most of the students. I mean, that's normally the case with a lot of classes. Teacher just happens to be there either on time or a little bit before. I've definitely had classes where teachers were like the last ones there, but like unlucky for us, I guess, like just tough, like deal with it. But anyways, right, so, you know, PJ, he's sitting there, and, you know, he's with his friends, and he's just like, oh, I mean, where's the teacher? Like, I've been sitting here for a while. I'm just a little confused. And, yeah, so, you know, the teacher never shows, and it's like 2 or 3 minutes later, and some random guy walks in, and this is like a younger guy. Let's say he's probably like 24, 25, probably fresh out of grad school or something for, I don't know, being a teacher. I don't really know how the education system works when it comes to being a teacher, man. That's not my forte. If you want to ask me about the education system when it comes to like specializing in Bitcoin, okay, I'm gonna shut up now. Anyway, so the substitute teacher walks in and says, "Hey guys, I'm Mr. Let's call him Mr. Steven. Yeah, Mr. Steven." Anyways, right, Mr. Steven, he comes in, and he's just like, "Hey guys, like, I'm gonna be your substitute teacher. Your teacher's sick today, so, you know, I'm coming in for, like, you know, the class. And I'm looking at the class notes, and it looks like we have a movie to watch." That's a good feeling, right? When you're in class and it's like, okay, it's movie time, even if the movie kind of sucks, like the movie isn't that great, for some reason it is always so much better than actually doing like actual work. Even if for some reason the actual work might have been like legitimately more entertaining, for some reason it actually doesn't matter. As long as you're watching a movie, it's going to be a good day. Anyways, he said, "Okay, you know, your teacher sent me in the lesson plan. Today we're watching a movie, and I got a download link for it, so just give me a second." So, you know, Mr. Steven, right? Mr. Steven, he goes on his computer, he downloads the movie. All the people are kind of talking with each other because, you know, he's just downloading the movie, so it's kind of a free period for people to talk. People are like, all right, like movie time, baby, let's go. Because I don't know about you, but whenever class was like, you know, a movie class, it was always a good day. It was legitimately always a good day when that was the case. So everyone was pretty hyped, everyone was pretty excited, and eventually Mr. Steven, you know, he actually gets the movie to download. He figures out how to use technology. But the thing is, right, Mr. Steven wasn't totally sure how to, you know, use the AirPlay feature. He wasn't totally sure how to link up his computer with, you know, the screen share type thing. So, you know, he's like, okay, he's fiddling around with it for a little bit, and it's not working. So he says, "Hey, does anyone know how to use, like screen share or use the AirPlay or whatever?" I don't even know. Like somehow get his computer to like play on, you know, the screen so that everyone could watch it. And this kid raised his hand. He said, "Hey, you know, I can help you." And this kid, we'll call him Benny. Benny was kind of known as a Bitcoin miner. That was kind of his thing. Like everyone knew him as the guy who mined Bitcoin.
"Connor, the joke wasn't funny the first time. It definitely wasn't funny the second time. It isn't funny the 500th time you said the joke. Can you shut the fuck?"
Oh my God. Okay, I get it. I'm not funny. Whatever. I have an obsession with Bitcoin mining for some reason, even though I'm much more of a fan of proof of stake blockchains like Tezos or... Anyways, right, so this kid was kind of known as, you know, being a little bit... Now, I don't want to call him a bully or... No, maybe he was a little bit, but he definitely had a very strong personality. This kid, Benny, right, he definitely would... He didn't really... how do I put this? Like, he was a good kid, right? He was a decent guy, but he definitely was very... you'll see. He definitely had, like... He didn't really care when it came to other people's feelings. I know that sounds harsh, but you'll know what I mean. Basically, what I'm trying to say is if Benny didn't really care. If something was funny and it negatively impacted someone, he didn't care because it was funny. Like, he didn't care that it negatively impacted someone. If something was funny, he'd do it for comedy. No matter how bad it was on the other person. So anyways, right, so Benny, you know, he goes up to Mr. Stevens' computer. He kind of syncs it up with the with the AirPlay or the screenplay or whatever. I don't even know, man. And, he gets it to work. And, so, the screen, it pops on screen and there's multiple tabs open. And this is where things start to go really downhill. This is where things start to fall off an absolute cliff. This is where everyone's day goes from, I'm watching a chill movie with my classmates to, oh my God. Right, so while the thing's screen sharing, while it's on the screen, right, if you don't know, of course you guys know, but on Google Chrome or Safari or whatever, when you have tabs open, there's a little bit of what you typed into the search bar or what was on, the website title. That is kind of present. You can see the first 50 or 70 characters of whatever you searched. And let me just say that was not good for poor Mr. Steven. And this is where things start to go downhill pretty quick. This is where things for Mr. Steven started to go really, really downhill. Because he had a lot of tabs open. And for some reason, he just thought that, he didn't need to close them. If he didn't click into the tabs, he didn't need to close them, right? And people were kind of they started to look at them because you're going to look at the tabs, right? You're going to look at what it says. You're going to glance at it. And people just started to see hottest Minecraft anime, and then it cut off. Sexiest Minecraft anime, and they're just what? Huh? And everyone's there's a little bit of a slight murmur because people are all reading this at the same time, and they're just wait a minute, what the fuck, what? You just preface this by saying, I literally don't care what you watch in your free time, right? If your thing is, a popcorn getting popped in a microwave, if that's really your thing, man, I don't care. I honestly do not care. But the thing is, if your substitute teacher is looking up, most delectable Minecraft animations, bro, that's weird. If that's something you look up on your own, I literally do not care. But if your substitute teacher comes into class, does not close his tabs, and that gets revealed to you, bro, I'm sorry. I'm literally so sorry. I'm so sorry. Someone's going to say something. No one's going to let that slip. And you know who definitely does not let that slip? You know who definitely does not? Benny. Benny's not going to let that slip. And because here's the thing, Benny's setting up the computer, he's setting up the AirPlay, and everyone else can see it on screen, right? It's pretty obvious. And Benny, out of all the kids who's going to do something about it, out of all the kids, Benny's going to be the one to do something. And unfortunately, he was the one, he was still manning the AirPlay because he was still getting it set up. It was and when Benny saw the tabs, he was yo, Mr. Steven, what's this? And he clicks on one of them, and it's just a Steve. It's just an animated Minecraft Steve. And it was a very zoomed up photo of his face. And actually, on second thought, on a closer review, on a peer-reviewed study of research and data, I've come to the conclusions that I'm not going to meticulously depict the hottest Minecraft anime. I'm not going to meticulously depict the hottest Minecraft animations of 2021. Leave that to your vile imaginations. Anyways, right? So the whole class, because at this point, right, you have to remember, Benny has clicked into one of these tabs. And at this point, Mr. Steven, bro, he was new on the job. He was just a sub. He was coming in. All he wanted to do was, get some credit hours or whatever. Because I think a lot of teachers, I think there's something about getting hours as a substitute that that goes towards something. Maybe you get paid a little bit. He just wanted to come in, get his hours, get a little bit of bread, right? Get paid a little bit. Just sit back, watch one of these movies about, I don't know, 1960 Europe Reconstruction era, whatever. I don't know, the United States going off the gold dollar, the gold standard. I don't know, man. It was one of those history videos. He just wanted to sit back, watch that with the kids. It doesn't even matter. He didn't want his search history and his videos and the stuff he was watching the night before to be plastered all over the screen and potentially, disrupt his career at least a little bit. Today's secret word is Minecraft. So if you made it this far into the video, I would like you to go in the comment section down below and comment Minecraft. I can't heart all of them. I've tried my best to heart a lot of them, but I just can't get to all of them. But if you want a good chance of getting a heart and maybe getting top commenter on the channel, comment Minecraft. I'll heart a bunch of those. This is a way to say thank you for the wonderful, wonderful watch time. And also a thing I started a couple of videos ago is if you guys send me, any kind of fan art or cool kind of art like that to my Instagram, I'll try and put some of it in some of my videos. Instagram is on screen right now. That's where you can send me the stuff, as well as send me the stories, which you guys have been doing and sending me a lot, and I do appreciate them. But yeah, I'm just going to show you some fan art on screen right now, as well as the Instagrams to the correlated accounts, so you can go say, like, that it's cool. Go send them some good messages or something. And today is your lucky day, because every single person who leaves a like on today's video will receive their very own nothing. I know, it's a wonderful deal. Back to the story. Anyways, right, so Mr. Steven regains control of his laptop, like, shuts it, it disconnects the AirPlay or whatever, right? And he's like, guys, I'm so sorry, like, you weren't supposed to see that. And, like, the kids in class, right, this is a high school class, like, this isn't some, like, middle school class where this would be a really serious issue, like, it's bad in any case, but, like, the kids just thought it was pretty funny. And, like, the subscriber, PJ, was, like, he kind of spoke up, he's like, dude, like, Mr. Steven, don't worry about it. We actually, like, I think, like, whatever, dude, like, we don't care. We just found it was, like, funny that, like, I don't know, like, it's like, we're sorry that we're laughing at you, but, like, we really don't care. Don't worry about it. Mr. Steven's like, yeah, I'm just sorry again. He's like, also, guys, if you could just, like, not tell anyone about this. I know that sounds weird or whatever, but just, like, it honestly was a mistake, and it'll just get me in a lot of trouble. And, I mean, it seems like you guys don't really care, so it would just really help me out if, you know, you just didn't tell anyone. They were like, yeah, dude, like, don't worry about it. And, like, PJ's like, yeah, you're good, bro. Like, we get it. Like, could kind of mess up your career or whatever, and it's honestly not a big deal, so it's totally chill. Let me just, and PJ offered himself, he's like, yeah, let me just get back up here. If you want to close those tabs for me, big guy, I'd appreciate that. But I'll get the movie set up, and we'll just sit here and watch it, and you're chill. And Mr. Steven was obviously a little bit shaken up. I think I'd be a little shaken up too. Thankfully, I would never be in that position for many reasons. But Mr. Steven seemed a little shaken up, and he was like, yeah, thanks, I'm just going to sit down. He was defeated, bro. He was done. So you might be thinking to yourself, like, okay, well, this is a decent end to the story. Why is there still like 3 to 4 minutes of runtime on the video? Like, they obviously, everyone in the class was like, they thought they'd be chill about it, and they're just gonna go ahead and watch a movie and definitely not get this like decent teacher in trouble who just like forgot to close his tabs, right? No one's gonna mess this up. No one's gonna make this unnecessarily awkward and unfortunate for no one's gonna do that, right? There's just 3 minutes of like extra blank space. Unfortunate to say, the story does not end here. You guys remember Benny, the kid who was called up to, you know, to actually, the first one who, you know, clicked on the tab and showed the whole class, basically. And as I said earlier, Benny basically would do anything for a laugh, for a good funny, like a good haha moment. And in Benny's mind, he was thinking to himself, you know what would be a super funny reaction? If I told the principal and the principal came in and like talked about it, like that would be hilarious. And Benny didn't really, because I said this earlier, right? He didn't really think of like ramifications or his actions having effects on other people. That whole thing, he wasn't really thinking about that. He just thought it would be super funny if he did this. So what Benny did is he was like, hey, Mr. Steven, can I go to the bathroom? And Mr. Steven's like, yeah, sure, it's fine. He was still a little shaken up, but he was kind of warming up to the class again. Things were good. The movie was playing, by the way. PJ got up there, successfully got the whole thing all set up. Things were looking pretty good, right? Things were just going smooth. The class was enjoying their movie. But what Benny did was he walked down the hallway and he walked right past the bathroom and he walked right to the principal's office. And what he did is he said, hey, Mr. whatever, Mr. Principal or whatever his name would be. Let's just call him Mr. Principal. I don't want to come up with another name. I'm gonna mix up the names if I have too many. So he's like, hey, Mr. Principal, right? Do I have a story for you? And let me just say that the principal did not find it as humorous as the class did. And the reaction was not as humorous as Benny expected it to be. Aha. So PJ's sitting in class. He's there with like a friend or two, and they're just chilling watching the movie when they hear a banging on the door. They hear bump, bump, bump. And then all of a sudden the door opens. And you know who walks in? Benny. And you know who walks in right after him? The principal. So Benny, you know, he was a little, you know, he didn't understand stuff like that. He really didn't like think ahead. But even, you know, Benny was at least competent enough to realize that as he was standing there that, oh my God, he messed up at least a little bit. And the principal is like, Mr. Stevens, is what Benny told me that just happened, is that true? And the whole class is looking at Benny like, dude, why? Like, legitimate, why? We don't care. It was an act, like, why? And you know, the substitute teacher, Mr. Steven, is just looking at the principal like, And here's the thing. The class would have totally gone along with, like, no, Benny made it up. Because, they were okay with Benny. But, Benny had pulled a few, like, something like this before. Not exactly like this, obviously. But he's been a jerk to these kids for comedy in the past. And, they definitely wouldn't side with him over this, like, okay guy that, like, seems like he just, like, made a mistake, right? But no, Mr. Steven is just like, yeah, it's true. And, principal looks at Mr. Steven like, yo, come with me. And then he looks at the class, he's like, hey, guys, like, you get class off, like, you can go just, like, chill till next period or whatever. Like, go, or just, like, stay here and study, or just, like, go somewhere. I don't really care. You can't leave, obviously, but you get class off. Do what you want. And yeah, the principal and Mr. Stevens, the substitute teacher, they leave the classroom, and the whole class is just chilling there, like, and they all look at Benny, and they're just like, and then PJ's like, dude, why? And he's like, dude, I thought it'd be funny. And they're all just like, what part of that was funny? He was like, guys, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it would do that. And they're like, dude, you didn't realize he'd get in trouble? It was very clear he'd get in trouble. He's like, dude, I thought it'd be so funny when the principal came in. I thought the principal would have more of a sense of humor. And they're all just like, dude, why would the principal have a sense of humor? He has to run the place. So this was like an old guy, like the principal was like an old guy known for not having a sense of humor, known for like taking stuff very seriously. So everyone's like, Benny, why would you think this? And eventually Benny's like, I messed up, I messed up. And they were like, yeah, dude, yeah, you did. Subscribe if you haven't already, and then go watch another video. There's a bunch on screen. Also 5,000 likes, and yeah, it's good stuff. I don't know.